Good weekend at the Rodeo in Austin, Texas. They paid out a lot of money, over $600,000. A big chunk of it went to this man, Tanner Aus, 8-time national finalist. I think he's about to make it 9 from Minnesota. Tanner joins us. Tanner, congratulations on Austin. How had you done there in the past?
Yeah, thanks. I actually won Austin in 2016, and it seems like just yesterday, but look back nearly a decade ago.
I was looking at this, 33 years old, 8-time national finalist. You got a pretty extensive resume. And they're kind of a generational thing going in the bareback riding right now. You've got the guys who are the more seasoned veterans. I guess I have to put you in that pot. And then you got all those rookies and those kids and those first, second year guys at the NFR last year.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those years, kind of changing of the guard for the 2023 NFR. And, it's like that every few years you see that. There's some guys that can, are on top of their game and stay on top. And there's always fresh faces pushing from behind. So, yeah, it's fun to see the young crop of guys right now, so hungry, so tough, and they just ride wide open. They're aggressive. They don't get tired. They don't get sore. Don't appear to, anyways. So that makes it a challenge for the veteran class, I guess you would say.
Yeah. You were there once upon a time. You're still there. I think you strike me as one of the more physically fit guys going, and to be as consistent as you've been for as long as you've been doing it, Tanner, you must be doing something right.
Yeah, thanks. I try, and I've kind of recently tried to resharpen my focus, just because, if you're going to make it count, it gets a little harder. The longer you've been at it, you realize that it takes a little more to show up and be ready. So I've been trying hard to do that. And yeah, my goal is just to stay healthy and stay competitive for as long as I can, because this is all I've done and this is all I want to do. So I'm pretty blessed that way.
You had a good weekend, or a good trip, not weekend. Austin covers 3 weeks, I think. You were 85, split the last hole in the first go round. They figure the average in Austin based on in the riding events on the short round, but in the timed events on the 3-head average. In the second go round, you won the second round with a 90 on Andrews Wrap It Up. Tell me about that horse and that ride.
That was a horse I didn't know too much about. I got to see a couple videos, and the game film that I had was nothing like the trip she had in Austin. So I was thankful. I was expecting her to go out there and maybe move out a little bit, get a little bit longer as the ride went on, and I knew she was going to need all the help I could give her to kind of pick her up and make that horse good. And I was surprised. It was phenomenal. She turned back right in front of the chutes and was leaping in the air and kicking the lights out the whole time. And it was all I could do to be there at 8 seconds. So, I mean, it was, not at all what I was expecting, and pretty thankful for how it turned out.
So you followed that 90 up with a 90.5 on a horse called Empty Promises, another Andrews horse. You told me before we started this, you want to get to know a little bit more about that horse. It's not a horse that has been to the finals. If that horse keeps turning in scores like this, I'll bet you we see that horse in a yellow bucking chute in December.
I think you're right. According to Sammy Andrews, that horse actually came from Jake Brown, my old buddy and fellow bareback rider. And I need to learn a little more about it, but I don't know if it's one he raised or one he acquired. But I had a good text message conversation with him on Saturday, and I told him, you know what, buddy, I think you might have one of your own in the TV pen here before too long. So,
boy, how cool would that be for Jake? And does that mean a little something to you guys when you can see somebody who's been at it as long and has been as well respected as Jake has been, raising horses that are now having an impact and doing well?
Yeah, it's great. Jake is producing rodeos now, and I don't think it'll be too long before he is, producing PRCA rodeos. I've talked to him a little bit about it, and I know that's kind of his end game, and that's what he wants to do. So to know that he has one or had one of that caliber, he's doing something right. So that's pretty exciting.
Tanner, tell me about your plans for this year. Obviously, they end in Las Vegas in December. You are sixth in the PRCA's world standings. I think that includes the money you won in Austin, which was well over $15,000. How many rodeos? How has your agenda, your plan, whatever, however you want to put it, changed as you've gone on in your career?
Oh, it's not too much has changed. If it takes me going to 100 rodeos over the course of the season to be one of them top 15 spots, I'll do it. Um, it's a little more challenging with the family, and I'm lucky to have the support I do. I have my wife's blessing, and we make it all work. The less traveling I can do, the better. It's a lot more flights these days, back and forth to home, race out to where I need to be, and then race home as soon as I can. And of course, I take the family with me every chance I get. Three little ones. It's tough sometimes, but we all fit in the Capri camper. So, that's it. I'm, like I said, as long as I'm healthy and competitive and have my wife's blessing, we're going to keep hard charging, and hope to be there. Hope to be in one of them top spots, and hope to be poised to do big things in December.
Folks wonder sometimes about all the stuff that you guys win. And I pointed out when you started, I really like the two saddles behind you. Tell me about those two saddles.
Oh, a couple of my favorites. One of them is from Cheyenne Frontier Days. And
that's one over your left shoulder, right?
Yeah, that one's over here. Left shoulder.
Yeah.
And then this one is from the American in 2016.
That was $100,000 win at the American that year. And winning Cheyenne, guys talk about the crown jewels that you really want to win. I've heard a lot of guys talk about three of them: Cheyenne, Calgary, Pendleton. Am I right in saying that? Would you throw a couple others in there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, those are three. The American is one too, of course, but the one that's really eluded me, and I always say is my favorite rodeo for that reason, is Pendleton, Oregon. So I know it's a long ways away, and I know I've had about a dozen tries, but that's one that's definitely on the list.
Yeah, well, and that thing has become, especially since they redid the arena, and the environment in there has become so electric. And that championship round Saturday, there's nothing like it on the final day of the Pendleton Roundup.
Yeah, it's unreal, and I've been there in a couple short rounds on days where you get up and it's raining a little bit, and that grass is slick, and there's some buckers out, and everyone's kind of pretty quiet. It feels like an E-Pen night at the end of the bar. It's like you always hope they stay on the track and don't make it to the grass, but when the grass is slippery, you're really hoping they stay on that track.
Yeah, it's the most unique rodeo on the planet. So I called you about Austin. I didn't call you about Pendleton, but I think it's kind of fun to have a chance to hear your thoughts on that great rodeo as well. So how you feeling, Tanner? Everything good? Y'all healthy? You feeling good? Are you spending extra time in the gym? What's your plan there?
Yeah, I feel great right now. Just like I said, it's all kind of part of this recent sharpening of focus I've had, but I feel good, and I'm trying to be in the habit of sweating every day and not making excuses, and doing the same things on the days that I have to ride as the days I have off, and just keeping a routine, keeping good sleep. It's all just little things, subtle things that help me feel good and show up ready, and so that I can make the most out of every opportunity I have.
Yeah. Over 53,000 for the year. It takes 100,000 plus anymore to make it to the finals in the bareback riding.
Yeah, it's wild. It's awesome, and it's a testament to the direction the sport is heading. It's great to see. There used to kind of be a formula, whatever the 10th spot was after Cheyenne was what the 15th spot was going to be at the end of September or something like that. But it's so hard to gauge anymore, because for the last 3 years, that 15th spot has been several $1,000s more than it was the year prior. And it's just, it's great. It means that, committees are stepping up and guys are rodeoing hard, and it's good for the sport.
Yeah, I agree. I agree totally. What's next, Tanner?
Havre, Montana on Saturday. I got my son Rowan's 4th birthday party on Friday, and then when the party settles down, we're going to try to make a mile and get partway out there. And then when we get done in Havre, we'll probably all-nighter home and try to be home for Easter service Sunday morning. So big weekend.
Wow. Yeah, there it is. That's the life of a rodeo cowboy who got out of Austin, Texas on Sunday and is back home in Minnesota, where it's supposed to snow all winter in Minnesota. You're getting all your snow in one day.
Yeah, they're saying up to 26 inches, and it really did wait till right at the end. But we're equipped to handle it.
Awesome. Tanner Aus joining us, the newly crowned and now 2-time champion at the Rodeo in Honor, Austin, Texas. $16,000 a weekend. You do that a bunch of weekends, Tanner, you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, not every weekend's like that, but that's what I'm shooting for.
Well, keep it up. Congratulations, and thank you for your time.
Thanks, Steve.